OTT is one of the big themes that cable operators and others are addressing just now. How big a threat do you think OTT is to cable, and what can cable do to either embrace it or counter it?
Well, of course it's a threat if you don't do anything about it, but any competition is a threat if you don't react or take some steps to countermand it. The way we see things is the world as it is today is a bit of a mess. So you've got all sorts of different OTT services coming into connected TV sets to different devices. There are different applications. You've got different ways to navigate into them. You've got different ways to navigate within those services themselves. And what that means is you're actually putting all of the onus onto the consumer to remember where any given piece of content comes from, which means you're making them work rather than you doing actually what the cable industry does rather well, which is making watching TV easy and enjoyable. So the way we see it is almost exactly like Duco presented yesterday, is there needs to be some form of aggregator, somebody that brings this stuff together and makes it easy so that you can not just have it on your iPad or on your connected TV, but actually be able to bring in any find content that you're interested in, bring it in, start watching it on your iPad, move it to the big screen, move it to another screen, take it with you when you go to work in the morning. Things like that. And those sort of things are just not available from the disconnected OTT experiences you have today.
Okay, yeah. And one aspect of this that cable operators are often presented with is that because devices are connectable, you could do without the set-top box and perhaps reduce capex. What's your view on that? I mean, obviously you're a set-top box vendor, so you probably have a slightly different view.
It's interesting. You say we're a set-top box vendor, but 90% of our engineers are software-based. And fundamentally, the OTT side of things, or doing without a set-top box, wouldn't actually change the things you need to do. It's all about delivering that consumer experience and being able to manage that experience moving from device to device.
One of the things cable operators obviously want to do is deliver content to second and third screens and other devices as well. What role do you play there, and how do you think, what are the challenges that cable operators face in doing that? How can they be overcome?
I think the biggest challenge, and one of the reasons that we acquired a broadband company, was to get a lot of expertise in the home networking technology, because we think the big step up now, if you are a service provider providing multi-screen TV, consumers have an expectation of a certain level of quality. This is one of the great things that pay TV has done. It's very high quality stuff. When you start bringing that service to second screens, today with OTT you expect to get buffering, problems with networking, and whose problem is that? Well, actually as a consumer, it's yours. It's your problem, and most operators will say, sorry, my responsibility stops where the cable enters your home. Now, we think that needs to change if we're going to really address this multi-screen world. And by 2015, the average household will have 8 multimedia capable screens that you want to deliver to, tablets, smartphones, etc. So we think that the operators need to step up and actually take responsibility for making that home network work. To do that, they need tools. So one of our big value adds in the next year or so is those tools that allow the operator to see inside the home network, to see what's going on, to see, for example, that actually their Wi-Fi network should be moved to this frequency because their neighbors are on different adjoining frequencies, so that you can get the best quality of experience, such that we can dynamically measure what's actually happening. Yeah, and unless we provide the operators with the tools, of course they can't do it, or it involves somebody on the phone stepping people through the settings of all the different devices that they have. Impossible, too expensive. So we need to make that cheap and affordable and doable, and then you can deliver the multi-screen reality.
I know you're talking here at Cable Congress a little bit about how to make the delivery of cable services more environmentally friendly. Can you talk a little bit about how that can be done, and also what kind of pressures cable operators are under to deliver a smaller environmental impact?
Well, we're part of the industry volunteer agreement for reducing power consumption in complex set-top boxes. And one of the biggest things we've said there is that complex set-top boxes are very different from the standard digital television adapters you might buy in a retail shop. So, for example, there is no real such thing as standby. When you press the standby button on a complex set-top box, it may have to continue to do transcoding. It may be downloading stuff from the cable operator's network. It may be doing PVR recordings for you. There's a whole bunch of things that go on in the background that you as a consumer never see. And all of those things need to be taken into account. You need to design the whole system to reduce the power consumption in those devices. And so, give a very concrete example. In one cable operator, we managed to reduce, by thinking about how the whole system works, we managed to reduce the power consumption by 120, 130 kilowatt hours per year, which equates to about 18, 20 euros of electricity bill for that subscriber, which is about the same as getting 2 months basic cable for free.
So, sounds great. Thanks very much, Paul.